Connect the road for that.
I started the recording, so you were.
Oh.
Is that on recording? No,
You
okay,
didn't turn on the.
okay.
Does everyone know Dee?
I see. Hello?
Dee, I've seen your correspondence. I've not.
I'm the admin for engineering and I'm helping Carlton because he's a one-man team right now.
Good job. Thank you.
Yeah, and I've worked with Kate before on the Transportation Commission when she was the chairperson. Yeah, so I still work with the Transportation Commission.
You're always welcome here.
I see your names all the time now. I can.
And I see your name all the time.
Yeah.
So it's good to have basically the name.
Thanks for having me, guys. Can Elaine Muriel come in? I'm careful about the lobby. Oh, somebody let her in.
Oh, yeah, from Aegon.
I'll let them all in. Yeah.
Okay, call to order. Roll call. Daniel Krim here. Jen Hanks.
Here.
Kevin Hayes.
Here.
Mark Spinty.
Here.
Allison Sharp. Samantha.
She's online.
She's online.
Mhm.
You're on mute, Allison, but we see you.
Hello, I'm here. Sorry, I was trying to unmute and just kept hitting the wrong button.
All right, we can hear you now. Welcome. Samantha Meyer.
I'm here.
Val Pyatt. Missing one Val Pyatt. Skipping down to public comment.
So I got an email from an acquaintance. He wanted me to bring up a public comment.
Please.
So I'm going to read it real quick. It's in about an hour once I find it here. No. All right. So this is from Brian Cooperrider. He's like I said, a friend of mine, and he's a biker. He said, "Hey, Kevin, I was going to send you an official comment about the urban trail." So he had an issue with an urban trail section. He said the section that is basically clay is everything that was dug up for the water line that was put into accommodate the proposed new hospital that was never built. They tore up the urban trail, and when it was done, they put some new material down. That new material is loaded with clay and is completely impassable when wet, which is close to 6 months of the year. So that section goes from Mountain Dell right about where the urban trail drops about 20 feet all the way to about 50 yards into Fort Tuthill Park. He says people are riding and walking around the actual trail, which is essentially doubling the width of the trail. And he says, I think the city needs to get a load of new material to cover this section. He says, if you need pictures or evidence, he's happy to share, but that was a comment he wanted to bring up.
Anybody have seen that on their travails? Do we have a bunch of leftover asphalt from that? What's asphalt project we did?
Oh, to asphalt that whole
Yeah.
section?
There you go.
I think we have enough for that. I do think it's related to the newer ADA surface, which compacts really well when you do it. But it also holds its bumps for a long time too.
You're talking about the new asphalt that we got?
Oh, no, this
Are you
one's
talking about
an
the-
aggregate. Yeah, this
The
is the
stuff that's
Sinclair
on
Wash
this.
Trail.
Yeah, like a clay aggregate or something.
Yeah, it's the Sinclair Wash Trail redone for the Fort Tuthill sewer. And that Buffalo Park has that material as
Park.
well.
It's really muddy too,
Yeah, it doesn't.
like the
doesn't
Apaya
even
does,
Back out
Yeah.
after it gets wet very well, so.
but the new trail, like the connector trail down there, that holds water better. And it seems like it's a little different material than what's up top.
You mean going into the forest?
Yeah, going into the forest.
Let's aggregate.
That was a good one. Any other public comments? Yeah.
Nothing from the city council. I, I am your city council liaison, and I'll report back to the council any momentous decisions that are made today. I do have to leave at 5:45, so I'll slip out when time's up.
We'll make momentous decisions before February 6th. Guys, keep us on track.
Thank you, Daniel.
Approval of minutes. Did we all read the minutes? Because there was, in the minutes, there was a disparaging comment about our review of the minutes. Not enough people read the minutes to approve it at this meeting. Do we need to put that in there? Okay, we will. We'll leave that.
No.
Was that you?
No, Chris had it in there. so
Chris
I
did that
left
to us,
it.
a little parting gift from Chris.
Yeah, that's Chris. just
That's
doing
fine. Did enough of us read the minutes?
I read the minutes.
I read the minutes.
Also read the minutes.
All right, we're getting close.
I read the minutes.
All right, a motion to approve the, do I need to make a motion each, or can I make one omnibus motion for both sets of meeting minutes? That's a Carlton question.
it.
Trick question.
You want me to take that out, the part about?
No,
No,
it was
I'm joking.
accurate.
I'm joking. Please, let's, just get.
It was factual.
It was factual, yes. Disparaging factual comment. Approval of the December 18th, motion to approve the December 18th and December 18th, 2025 and January 15th, 2026 meeting minutes. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Any nays?
I,
Good night.
Ayes carry it. You got another one? Okay, good stuff. We'll get those published. Action items, none. Discussion items, safe routes to school. I understand have the guest speakers presenting, starting with Kim Austin, the esteemed Kim Austin. The floor is yours.
I don't know about that, but did you, Jeff?
You want to run it off of here?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
PowerPoint?
Very pleased because I didn't bring it. I mean, I have my computer, I guess I could figure it out, but. Thank you, Carlton.
Yeah, I can either do next, or if you want to drive. Whichever
I can
one.
say next.
Okay.
We're not that formal. So, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Kim Austin, and I'm the Transportation Demand Management Planner for MetroPlan. And I want to introduce Haley Bishop. He is the Safe Routes to School AmeriCorps intern. And yeah, so we've been working together on this project. So she's going to present to pedestrian advisory next week. So anyway, so we've been working on Safe Routes to School. So MetroPlan has a Safe Routes to School program, and it's split into two pieces. There's an infrastructure and a non-infrastructure. And Carlton has presented on infrastructure before, the 3 task orders. And so this presentation is on the programming part of Safe Routes to School. So our programming part of Safe Routes is split into 3 phases. Phase 1 was last year, and that was mostly a stakeholder, meeting the stakeholders, talking to the principals, kind of getting the lay of the land, doing some observations of the schools. Phase 2 was this year, and we collected data. And this is the result of the data that we collected. And then phase 3, I'll just give you, will be program implementation and funding opportunities. So this report is just a summary of the data. It gives the landscape of basically how students travel to school in Flagstaff. There you go. Okay, so next. A quick overview of Safe Routes to School, if you don't know. Some quick facts. Obviously, increased health, right? It helps you with activity. The CDC recommends at least 60 minutes of physical activity every day. And this helps because children don't receive PE every day. Usually it's PE once a week in school nowadays. So this definitely helps reach those goals. And then in addition to that, it's increase in mental health, physical health, emotional health. So it's all three. So as you know, getting outside makes you feel better. And so that does help. And then also studies have shown children that are driven to school with all the traffic, it affects their mental health as well in a negative way, not in a positive way. So I had to make sure I said that. Okay, so obviously safety, right? We've seen reduced pedestrian and bicyclist injury rates. They've dropped with Safe Routes to School programs. And then also, when you have Safe Routes to School programs, you see attendance rates go up because sometimes lack of transportation is a barrier. And when you can walk and bike to school, it takes away that barrier. And also congestion, right? We all know that morning traffic and afternoon traffic is the result of parents driving their kids to school. And so nationally, they say 10 to 14. That is not the case here in Flagstaff. I'm pretty sure that's a lot higher. So
Last week was free flow everywhere you wanted to go.
last week was awesome in Flagstaff. Spring break, yay! And then not on this list are increased neighborhood connections. When you have Safe Routes to School programs and you have more kids walking and biking, you strengthen your neighborhoods, you strengthen your community. Neighborhoods are seeing kids walk, neighbors are watching out for each other, and it really strengthens your community, which is a very big benefit. And it's not listed there, but I think it should be. Okay, next. So this document took a high-level review into the plans and policies that had strategies that reduced emissions, improved safety, promoted multimodal active transportation, and sustainable travel. So this is just kind of a synopsis of what the consultant found. So obviously, Flagstaff Unified School District has a climate action plan, and to some of those items and strategies would be promote yellow bus school bus service, promote carpooling, promote active modes of transportation, and coordinate with city and county about safe pathways near school for walking, biking routes. They also have a wellness policy. And so that would be, they have a wellness committee and they monitor and they update their wellness policy. They encourage kids to walk and bike to school, or they're supposed to. And they're supposed to encourage participation in walk to school day and bike to school day. And obviously, promote a learning environment involving nutrition and physical education to foster health and wellness in their students. So the charter schools that were reviewed did not have any sort of climate action or wellness policies. For the city of Flagstaff, obviously, everyone knows about the Active Transportation Master Plan. Within that plan, it specifically states to reestablish a Safe Routes to School program, establish a comprehensive education and safety programs for pedestrian, bicyclists, and motorists, and to partner with local schools to develop inventories of walking, biking, and transit opportunities. So, and then Flagstaff has a carbon neutrality plan to achieve carbon neutrality by 2030, strengthen our neighborhoods, and to encourage active transportation. So that's just kind of an overview.
Just a little emphasis on the FUSD Climate Action Plan. The superintendent has just this last month reinstituted the committee that's working on the climate action plan for the school district. I'm on the committee as well as about 10 other people, and the superintendent is looking for advice on all aspects of climate action, and certainly our topic today is a big part of that. So you can look for reports and activity to come out of that reinvigorated committee.
I will be presenting at your June meeting.
Excellent.
Yes,
They're going to be meeting monthly.
yes, specifically to all the FUSC schools that are in this document. So you will get a more in-depth report at that meeting
Good.
than we're giving here.
And our local schools that aren't part of FUSD 1, are they not part of the Safe Streets to School plan, or they are?
They are in this document, and we are reaching out to them as well. But they don't have any policies that were reviewed. So yes, because they don't have any policies that specifically state safe routes to school or climate action or anything. So that we could find. Maybe they have them, but we just couldn't find any.
And those are the charter schools.
Yes. Next. Here are your schools. There are 19 of them, and there are both charter and FUSD schools. The only school that Summit School is not on that list. But I think we managed to capture just about every other school in town. The small Montessori, the Catholic schools, they're not on this list. So the bigger ones were the initial schools.
What about the new school, the building? That's not in this map, right?
The new school.
Down Lone Tree, right? Isn't that the new public school going in?
Kinsey?
Oh,
Yeah.
Kinsey School is in here, but it's not,
So,
it's in its current location, not in the new one. Yes.
all right.
Next, okay. So just high level, the document is 81 pages long, so I'm just kind of gave snapshots of what you have here. So basically students, the data collected were parent surveys, ped bike data, observations at the schools, and student travel tally data, and then transit data from Mountain Line. And school yellow bus service from FUSD. So all that was collected, and 62% of kids are driven to school to this now. There it is, from the data we collected.
The yellow school bus, just to be clear, it only buses kids outside of the city limits.
If you're at middle and high school, outside city limits. If you're at an elementary school, you have yellow
School.
bus schools.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Within your school boundary.
Yes.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
So it's a limited. I think you would see probably more school bus if there was school bus service being offered for the high school and you guys aren't in charge of the yellow school buses, but I think that that's a part of the issue here is that it's not offered to the high school and the middle school age children.
What the school did is, when that whole school bus thing
2.5
happened.
years ago, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. So what they did is they purchased eco passes for all the students at high schools and middle schools from Mountain Line.
From Mountain Line.
Yes, so all the students at high schools and middle schools have access, and they can get a free bus pass from Mountain Line.
And I
just-
do see that 2% of our children are taking the Mountain Lion bus, including my kid is.
Yeah.
Is included in that 2%. I'm just wondering. Because I'm sure there's a disparity between how many would be taking the yellow bus and how many are taking the Mountain Lion. I always wonder why not more school-age children are taking the Mountain Lion.
We're working on trying to figure that out. That is the question of the day.
Because that's a good service.
It's a
It works.
great service
Yeah.
and that is one of
Very
the
regular.
recommendations, pretty much at every school.
Yeah, my child hasn't been late one day because of Mountain Lion.
It's amazing. Yes,
Absolutely on time every single day.
yes. We want more kids to take Mountain Line service, 100%. I don't want FUSD to add more buses. That's not the answer. So I just think more kids need to take transit and learn and it fosters independence.
Absolutely.
I mean, I can just take up the rest of the meeting on the benefits of,
Or bike and walk. Yeah.
or right, the benefits of active transportation, right? We all can sit here and do that. Anyway, so,
Can I ask one question?
oh,
before
you
get-
can ask many
It's
questions.
just out of curiosity, is there previous data on student modes of travel that anyone collected, or is it just, Kate's giving me a look. Just like could you indicate that change has happened or not, or is there not historic data?
I don't have any,
Yeah.
I don't have, this is the first,
That you're
this
aware
is
of?
the first that we've collected.
Okay,
And the reason this number, disclaimer with this is some of the data is not consistent.
okay.
And there's a reason for that. So student travel tally data was a little confusing for some of the teachers because they've never done it before. And so that is going to be something that's a little more consistent. Haley has standardized the form and helped make that more consistent. But yeah,
Okay, so you just have a snapshot.
it was difficult
Yeah.
all I asked were who walked to school today, who biked to school today, but I don't think they understood why I was asking that information. So now that it's out, they can see the report card, they're like, oh, okay. And so then when we ask again, it'll be easier.
So is this on one particular day that you're collecting data or?
That's the plan.
Okay.
It didn't happen that way, but that's the plan.
Got it.
Yes. So everyone, same day, same circumstances, you get the same data. Yes, that's the plan.
And again, like on a day like today, you might have very different results than a day like December 2025 when it was like,
Yes, so the idea is to take it in the fall and in the spring,
Oh, okay.
because I think
Yeah.
that would be great data to have each year. Because your travel modes change, right?
Yeah.
So. Anyway, and also the data, when you observe data at schools, because some of this data is this data is from the student travel tally data, but when you see the report cards, some of that is from the observations. We would observe on a day, some kids may have been driven by their, parents, some may have been dropped off at FACS, some may have, there's all the different aspects of, children's lives at school. Early morning practices, sick days, all the things that come into play that I'm just standing there with a clipboard, so I don't know. I just do the best I can with an observation, which is, and also there was one more thing I want to say, I forget. Oh, some of the data, some of the schools, I didn't collect the data, so we're rectifying that right now. So that data may change. I hope it doesn't go up, but it could go up. No, there are some schools that didn't provide it, and I will have that by the end of, this month. Yeah, so Haley's gonna update the data, so I will have better data from the rest of the schools that didn't have, they got it incomplete. So we're fixing that. So you won't see those report cards, by the way. Anyway, okay, so overall benefits, key benefits. Obviously, walking, biking, increases your daily activity, right? Healthier kids, fewer cars at drop off, streets are safer, congestion improves, air quality is better, all the things.
And I would add, there's a lot of research that shows that kids learn better when they have physical activity
Yes.
in their day, and that may be incentive to get like schools to buy in.
So studies have shown their time on task is better.
Yep.
Right? So better test scores. Really, yeah. And then, right, better neighborhood connection, better communities, all the things. Key findings from this are most students are driven to school, leading to congestion and safety risks. Many schools are actually in walkable neighborhoods, so there is potential to create some mode shift. And a lot of parents in the survey did express a high interest in safer walking and biking transit. So there are opportunities to have some travel training. There are some recommendations to try and reduce the barriers associated with some of these issues.
Kim, did they mention, do you have any data on what they consider to be unsafe about the current walking, biking, or transit situations?
We have some, yeah, speeds, the missing sidewalks, the bike lanes, and
That's what I was wondering.
yeah,
Okay.
all the things that
One might
is
imagine.
reported here.
Yeah.
At every meeting, yeah. Top recommendations would be training and education, right? Bike and ped education should be given to all kids at every grade throughout the years. Not only just because if you're not in a car and there's no sidewalk, which side of the road do you walk on? If there's, where do you ride if you're on a bike? Where do you, all just the basics. So that's something that all kids should have that knowledge, and they're not given right now. So I think that's important. And then also completing the sidewalk and bike network. We all know this, right? Is good. And then obviously there are low-cost programs and activities, bike to school day, walk to school day, park and walk, carpool. There are some low-cost ways that you can really get kids out of cars. So, okay, next. And here's a sample report card. This is NPA. And yes, they got an F on their report. So what you see here are, so first you have the demographics, you have their enrollment, and just sort of a pie chart on how they get to school. They did give student travel tally data. So, obviously I was actually at NPA yesterday with dismissal, and the right turn lane on 4th at, is it Solier, was completely blocked with cars. Oh, I took pictures. I know, I did. I know Haley's like, what are you doing? No, I did take pictures because if you were a car that was actually trying to turn right, you would not get to turn right because cars were waiting for their kids, and kids were getting in cars that were stopped right there in the right turn lane. Anyway, so what you see, the dark purple is right close to the school within 1/4 mile. And then as the purple is lighter, it gets further away. So the lighter purple, and Haley, correct me if I'm wrong, okay, is 1/2 mile. Is that correct?
So
Okay.
it goes out to a mile.
Okay, so as it gets lighter, it gets further away. That is your walk shed. That's your sidewalk connection and all that is around the school. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to see. I'm sorry.
It gets labeled on there. 1/2 mile buffer.
Okay, and then the green little bits that you see, those are the groups of where kids are located and they live. So we did get addresses. So we do know approximately where kids are coming from. And so there are a significant number of kids that live fairly close that could walk. There are also kids on bus routes. if the bus routes are included on there, and so they could take transit. So,
Is Northland K through 12?
No.
no, it's 6 through 12, I think.
Oh, it's, okay.
Mhm. Yeah. So, and then, on the next page, you have the top concerns that were identified. High speeds, 4th Street is a 4-lane road, high speeds, lot of traffic. So that, doesn't lend itself to, you know, comfortable walking. And then, the presence of school zone signage, that would be better, right? To alert vehicles to slow down. And they really could use some crossing guards, especially on Sparrow. That would help a lot. And then obviously getting kids out of cars would really help at this school to decrease the congestion.
Yeah, a good majority of those kids park at Sanawa.
They do,
And have
they
to
do,
cross the street that way.
they do.
My daughter and my son went there. My daughter tried to walk home, but Butler is too unsafe, right? Trying to go and walk up Butler. We did it for a little while, but then I was like, yeah, it's not worth it. So.
Right. So, and then, the recommendations are in the last box. And, those recommendations were prioritized by the consultant. And, there was a prioritization process, which is at the end of the document. But, obviously, complete sidewalk network, Mustang Way, Butler Avenue, which that is part of the Safe Routes infrastructure we're looking at. Carlton has reported on, that's task order 2, that area between Knowles and Sonawa. Yes, right? Okay, like I combined those two names. Instituting maybe some sort of parking fee. So for students that drive, so maybe that's an incentive not to drive your car because you have to pay for it. But if you do drive, maybe that money can be given to a crossing guard or put back in for infrastructure or some sort of incentive, encouragement to not drive, or, you know, you can put that money towards something that would encourage active transportation. A travel training program for the school. So maybe that's a barrier of parents are afraid of what they don't know. So maybe parents haven't ridden Mountain Line bus trans. So maybe if, you know, they all had a training and they realize how great it is, then they would allow their kids to ride as well. So that would be another option. Flashing school zone signs are a big one that would help. Obviously, bike and pedestrian education is across the board. And then carpooling would be a big one, right? So, and then it gives the benefits and then the responsible agency. So, you know, there's easy, low cost fixes and a little higher, more expensive options here.
Do they have bike racks and how utilized are they?
They do have bike racks. They are not, Haley, do you remember where they were? They weren't in.
They had a lot of bike racks.
They did, right? Yeah, at each area, there's 2 or 3 bike racks at each building.
Out of all the schools, they had
So they have room to park bikes.
They do have room to park bikes. I don't remember what kind they were.
a mix. They had like 3 different types.
Haley did a bike inventory of all the schools. So there is a bike inventory. So the type, you know, where it was located and all the things. So that's been completed as well. Do you have anything to add?
I went after school hours, but it still seemed like they were being utilized. So I'd give them an okay grade on that.
And that is all I had to report for everyone.
If we want to read the full report, Kim, how can we do that?
I will make it available as soon as the updates are made. So, they will be made soon, and then I will make it available to everyone. We just wanted to update the data. Yeah. So absolutely, 100%. Yes.
Hey, regarding the bike inventory, did you guys note how many electric bikes might be utilized at school, that age group? Are they all pedal bikes?
I just did bike racks, so I didn't look at actual like bicycle usage, but during our observations, we've seen quite a few electric bikes.
Yes. I noted, basis, a lot of the not e-bikes, but the motos,
Oh, really? With no pedals,
the
right?
not nice ones.
A lot of scooters. I see a lot of those little middle school boys with the electric scooters and. Yeah. A lot of them. I would think that if. So like, for mountain lion and for getting more kids to ride mountain lion. If we could make a poster, a mountain lion poster for each school. That could be printed and hung in the hallways, but also sent out to the parents saying, if your kid goes to Snawa, here's where the bus would drop off. Here's the bus stops that would service that bus stop. And here's the times that your kid would need to get to that bus stop to be at school on time.
And
Would be something that might scoop up a few more kids to ride that bus. And it's like a critical mass thing, right? Once you get a certain number of kids doing it, I can tell you that like Parker has a bus crew because of the bus crew. Like, who'd you eat lunch with? Oh, the bus crew. Like, it's like a little gang now. There's a critical mass of kids that if they start doing it, then they start saying, Mom, I gotta ride the bus. I'm not gonna see undressed if I don't ride the bus.
right, we need to change the culture, absolutely, to bus culture.
Bus
not
culture,
car
yeah.
culture. Mountain Line does go out before school starts to every school and tries to get everyone, all the kids signed up for
Eco Pass.
eco
Yes.
passes.
And I think they do a good job of doing that. I just think that not enough parents know that, you know, get your kid to the bus stop that's down the street from you by 7:50 AM.
Right.
It's that easy. Like literally kick him out the door at 7:48 and he gets there at 7:50 and he's gonna get to school on time. And if they knew that, they'd be like, okay, why have I been dropping my kid off every day? This is so much easier.
Save so much time.
And the thing is that it's kind of a long ride for Parker, but he doesn't care. He's goofing off with his friends the whole time.
Great. Mhm.
I really do think there's a critical mass with the mountain lion thing. The kid-
Absolutely. And another area I would like to explore are the charter schools. Maybe trying to figure out how to purchase eco passes for all their students.
Yeah.
And somehow, and this is where you have to purchase them for the whole population of kids at the school. To get the discount for the eco passes. And so somehow, I don't know if that would be a student fee that the parents would pay, or there somehow we'd have to figure that out. But it wouldn't be like, 100 parents want to get it. You have to buy it for the whole school in order to do that. So FUSD had to buy eco passes for all of the students at Flag High, Coconino, Snawa, and Mount Eldon, all of them. Whether or not they
Use them.
use them, that's beside the point, but they purchased that. So instead of spending that money on yellow school bus service, that's what they did with this money, which is great, which is wonderful.
I think it is wonderful because it could be more ridership for Mountain Lion, which would make Mountain Lion more likely to expand services, more likely to be
solvent.
Thank you. Thank you. That's exactly the word I was looking for.
And basis is a biggie. They are a conglomerate and it's gonna be really difficult to get them on board.
Although a ton of basis kids take the bus. That was the bus route I used to take from East Side, and I would see basis kids on it all the time.
Oh, they're really not.
Really? I mean, maybe not in comparison to the other schools. It was also before the yellow bus service got cut, so maybe things changed. But in the morning, if you live in Sunnyside and you're taking whatever routes are on Cedar, it was mostly me and a bunch of teenagers going to basis and a few people going to
Interesting.
DCC.
Yeah, I think it happens even without the schools getting involved in stuff sometimes. Like, you know, if enough kids are taking it, then they're just gonna keep taking it.
But I also think part of the challenge is that depending on where the kid lives, how many transfers they have to make the bus line, because, you know, like going from my neighborhood to Falla, you would have to make a couple transfers, and I think.
Yeah, maybe dropping them at the DCC so that it just goes straight there.
Yeah,
It would
so
be
it
a
would be
better option,
timing, you know,
right?
having the, like you said, surge demand, timing to meet school schedules for like charter schools and.
Did parents talk about something else that I know we've talked about in this group is like crossing to get to the bus station? For instance, on Cedar, did parents talk about that in terms of bus ridership? Like either arriving at school, not being able to cross safely, or
Yeah.
getting to the bus stop, not being able to cross?
I think
I'm
we
glad you
heard,
brought that up.
yeah, those complaints for, I think, for Sonawa, they're trying to move one of those bus stops on Butler.
Yeah, and Mountain Line is undergoing an operational assessment right now, and part of that is looking at some of the bus stops to improve some of the bus stops specifically for some of the schools.
And that's exactly why Parker gets picked up in the afternoon. Is because she doesn't want him crossing Butler to go to the bus stop. So he takes it in the morning and it gets picked up in the afternoon, so. Exactly what you just said.
Yeah, the
It's just like-
crossings are really challenging along a lot of those routes.
And it's not a problem in the morning. In the morning, it drops off at a real kind of safe location right by the Maverick.
I also think that having a safe bike route to the school helps with the electric bikes. I don't know where I heard or read the article, but that is one of the biggest segments of sales for electric bikes right now is parents for taking kids to school because you can avoid the congestion if you have a route.
Yeah.
When's that crossing going in across Humphreys? By Crush?
Isn't it being, it's in ADOT's hands right now being evaluated, right?
Not yet. It's a
Oh.
traffic engineering and
Oh, you're saying, I'm gonna
No.
interpret that soon, hopefully. Just because I feel, as a person who also bikes by Flag High a lot during drop off time, if you're in a different mode, that's not a good place for you to be. Like I
Oh,
mean,
no,
if you're
it's a
dealing with-
frogger.
Yeah, it's not,
Definitely.
yes. So to your point, I think it would be hard to, even though a bunch of the other route would be safe, just that part is not.
Thank you. I appreciate
Do you need anything from us?
No,
yeah, it's just a discussion and open it up to other kind of barriers that anyone's experienced with their own kids or seen.
You do like heat maps of desired crossings, or did you do anything about, I really feel like crossings are a big deterrent.
I have not done that, but
You did some of these, I'm Kate Morley, I'm the executive director of Metro Plan. Some of the recommendations for certain schools do identify the infrastructure barriers, and that is partly why there is the map of the walking route. Because we were trying to be realistic, you know, people aren't, it's gonna be really hard to convince people to do hard transfers on Mountain Line to get their kids there. So let's not focus on the parents who are gonna have to do that. Let's figure out how many kids live on the bus, the main bus line that serves the school. And same with on these heat maps. What's actually in the reasonable walk bike distance? And then what's the missing infrastructure in that instead of worrying about all the missing infrastructure? So that is a little bit of the rationale behind the mapping that was done.
Yeah.
And different schools do have the infrastructure recommendations.
Yeah, every school is completely different. That's
Right.
why there's not like a one size fits all and they all get a different report card.
Do you want to tell them really briefly what your next steps are? Because you're already starting to implement some of this, so.
Yes, I guess, yeah. Okay, so, every school, I will say there's one thing that we are implementing at every school, and that would be the bike and ped education. Because that's essential for every child. So with that, we are developing we're calling it a toolkit. And in this toolkit, there's, we're targeting the PE teachers and to implement curriculum into the PE classes from K through 12. And we've developed a bike and ped curriculum for each grade level. And so there's a booklet and it's bound and it goes with a toolkit that has the physical things to teach the lessons it's all in the thing. And we're gonna teach the PE teachers how to teach all the lessons in the thing. And FUSD is on board and we are gonna train them in August. And
How long is the curriculum? It's like a week or?
no, it's just gonna be one bike lesson and one ped lesson
Per semester or whatever.
per year.
Okay.
Per grade. So, and it'll be a different one and there's a progression. There's a school bus safety because school buses, need their safety there and, progression as you go along and, the little kids are walk with an adult, and you move on to things. And there's an audit for older kids to really assess your school and really pay attention to your environment and how fast are the cars going and, are they all the things. So this is the toolkit. It's a draft, so it's not done. But anyway, so we are on board with this. They are going to implement this. So in August, before school starts, we're going to be doing that. And then we're hoping to bring the national partnership here for a workshop to really talk about the why of safe routes and really do that. And then we have some funds to send 2 PE teachers to the national conference to really bring back some education and some lessons to give back and implement this curriculum. And then we're updating our website. So the website will have parent resources to help starting a walking school bus, a bike train, let's walk to school day, all the things. And then there's a separate private one for more curriculum lessons for PE teachers, stickers on, I walked today, I biked today, all the things that they could need to support the current toolkit and then additional lessons and any support that they would need. So the idea is for us to give them all the tools for them to implement their Safe Routes programs and tailor it to their school so that they can go use their report cards and implement how they can to get kids more active. And so I can't I can't run all their programs. So to be sustainable, they're gonna do it, but we're gonna give them all the tools to do it. That's the plan. It's a multi-layered plan.
Well, especially you think about it, and if it's sustainable and if it happens year after year, you could have a kid who's in the 3rd grade this year, but by the time they hear it in the 3rd, hear it in the 4th, hear it in the 5th, you get to middle school, hear it 6th, 7th, by the time they get up to where they're, strong enough to ride a 10 speed, the 1.5 miles that it takes to get to school, they'll be like, oh, I feel comfortable doing this because I've already heard what side of the road I need to be on, how I do my hand signals and like,
And when they get to high school and they're pre-drivers, then it's about where are the bikes on the road, where are the people on the road, where are they crossing? Everyone shares the road responsibly and safely, and this is what it looks like. And so, and I hope that you use transit for all the modes, but realistically, they are gonna get their driver's license, but here are all the ways and here's how you get around. So, I don't know, that's the plan.
Good work.
There's a plan. So, yeah. I'll present on that later again, probably too. Maybe we'll do a lesson.
Yeah,
Maybe
that
we'll
would
do a
be
lesson
great.
even.
Next on the agenda is here we have Kate Morley with the Metro Plan staff report.
Thank you. As I said, sorry, I'm Kate Morley. I'm the executive director of Metro Plan, and we have a second project that we wanted to present to you today. If you're not aware, Metro Plan is a collaboration of the city, the county, ADOT, Mountain Line, and NAU. And so they're all coming together as the regional partners who own and operate the transits or the transportation systems in the community to collaborate. So I wanted to present you on our project prioritization process, and that's because I understand you all spend a lot of time trying to prioritize projects, and I think and hope that the tool that we are creating is something that will be of use to you as you try to do that. So our project is called Metro Plan Connect. And what we are doing is we have a consultant on board who has thumbed through the 42 different transportation plans in the region and has pulled out the 2,000 projects identified in the 42 plans. I'm
When you
not
say
kidding.
In the region, is that just the county?
It's the greater Flagstaff region, so it's a great question. We basically are Kachina Village to Sunset Crater, Cosnino to Belmont. So kind of that, a box around the city of Flagstaff, so the greater Flagstaff region. So these are ADOT plans, they're county plans, they're transit plans, they're city plans. So all these plans.
ATMP is
The
1,400.
1,400 of the 2,000 projects are out of the ATMP.
wow.
So when you guys have struggled to prioritize projects, that might be why. And the ATMP projects at least have a map associated with them, but none of the other plans do. So the first thing the consultant's doing is creating a map of all the planned projects in the region. So that way we, not just the ATMP stuff, but the other pieces so that everyone can at least understand what's planned everywhere. This will be a publicly available tool. So also if a developer's coming in or thinking about purchasing a property, they could look and see what's planned on the roadway adjacent to their property to get their, brains turning about what might be required associated with the site. It would also be useful for city or county teams that are doing pavement preservation. So not necessarily the traditional transportation planners, but the public works teams, if they're going to do a pavement preservation project, they can pull up this map and quickly look, is there any add-ons we can include in our pavement preservation project that are low cost? So we're really segmenting things out so that they can be piecemealed, but they're also meant to be bigger. Some might be a whole corridor project, but we want to get finite with it so that way things could be done as opportunities arise. So it'll be a GIS-based platform. The values on the screen in front of you are Metro Plan's board's adopted values. So you can, they're intentionally in a circle because the board didn't want to say any one of these was more important than any other. And so we're going to come up with a system that we're also identifying in this GIS platform a bunch of characteristics associated with these kinds of projects. We're then going to come up with a pretty simplistic way to measure each of the things that you see on here based upon available data. So it's not going to be a perfect tool where it just spits out, here's your number one project, but it should help cull the list for us so that we don't have to look at 2,000 projects. We could look at the top 10 projects in this area and then apply our own thinking, critical thinking to them to massage what the tool says the top bike priorities are based on these. And as I said, there's 2,000 projects, so we can't make this a complex cost benefit analysis for every project because we don't have the time or resources to do that. So there'll be more like overlaying crashes with the projects to see where the high crash spots are for the 0 deaths and serious injuries. For public support, we might rudimentally look at that by how many plants is this project identified in? It's been identified in 7 plants that all did public outreach. So, we're seeing this come up over and over again. The Economic vitality could potentially, we're still working through these, could potentially be related to, is this in an area that is identified in the regional plan as an activity center or not? Because the activity centers are where we're trying to generate things. So it's just fairly simplistic ways to look at the values and filter projects based on that. We also want to be able to filter by funding requirements. So there's a lot of different funding programs out there, but they have specific rules. And so, you know, if it's a safety grant, let's filter to the safety projects. If it's a bike ped grant, let's filter to the bike ped projects. If it's a road widening grant, let's filter to the projects that are road widening projects. So the ability to really sift through these projects in a variety of different ways. And then, as I mentioned, we're hoping that we can provide this to our partners, capital planning processes, so that you all could use our tool. If you don't like our tool, you can ignore it. But we hope you like our tool and that it helps you at least cull that list of projects and see a way to rank them. And then again, as I said, this is meant to still apply our own critical thinking after the fact, but hopefully something of use to you. Next slide. So this is the ATMP GIS system, which is our best local example, but our tool will be more sophisticated than this.
Martin for the win.
Martin for the win. He did the first stab at this. But you can see on the little chart on the left there that he does have projects sorted by first priority, second priority, third priority, and we're able to see that in a mapping system. And so it would be a more robust version of this that's not just ATMP projects, but all projects across the region with a lot more filter information associated with it. So that's a high level overview of what we're doing. I'm happy to answer questions. Our timeline is really quick. We're trying to have this all done by September and make it available to our partners.
Of those 42 plans, are they all active plans? They're all active plans.
Yes, though some of them are 11 or 12 years old.
Okay.
They're area plans or those that are the most recent. We are working through that right now with a committee that's kind of refining it and saying like, that project is no longer a real project. Or so hopefully that list of 2,000 projects, we can cross them off because they're done or because we did something else that would have negated the need for the thing that's on there.
Have you, beta tested the Wheel of Fortune? Have you, found any projects and seen how, I mean, how does the tunnel from the farmer's market over to the transfer station, how does that?
Really high.
Really high, okay.
We haven't because we haven't agreed upon exactly what these will be, but Metro Plan has done some very rudimentary things associated with this before because we spend a lot of time prioritizing projects as well for particularly for grants. There's a lot of national federal grants right now, and so we're trying to help our partners identify which project to pursue because you have to have some political will to get these grants across the finish line. If you have multiple projects in the same congressional district, oftentimes your congressional rep is like, I'm just staying out of it, but you need them to be in there to champion it. And so by saying you just have one project, then they're more willing generally to champion the project across the finish line. So there's a little strategy there. So we have done some of these very rudimentary things where we're like, all right, we're gonna say that public support is the number of plans that we know it's in, although it may be more because we haven't done this full project. Or we're gonna say that the zero deaths is met. We're gonna look at the high crash network, and if it's on the high crash network, we're gonna elevate it. This will get more refined than that, but not into, like I said, really complex analysis that we can't just pull from other GIS layers or attributes that we could associate with projects in a GIS platform.
So is it gonna have like a numerical ranking or I mean, I guess this is the ranking, first, second, third, fourth.
In theory, it will, although it's meant to have these filters that you could apply so that you can be strategic about funding sources. But if you were to just, turn off all that and just say rank them by
this wheel.
I don't know that it might be that there's a couple number ones. I don't know.
Oh, sure,
It'll be
1A, 1B, I get that. Huh. So what do you anticipate seeing?
I don't know yet. We're not
You don't know?
quite
Okay.
far enough yet. But I'll report back later this summer.
And then we can see if we agree.
Yeah, you can see if you agree. You're like, no, this thing is very wrong.
Oh, very interesting.
Thanks for allowing me time to present.
I do like the idea that it would flag more projects that are in line to get taken care of by private developers. We love private developers do anything right.
And hopefully through those other things like pavement preservation projects where, frankly, if people don't know that these projects exist and nobody remembers, it's like somebody's like, we're gonna go repave whatever road. And unless a staff person remembers that there's a low hanging fruit solution in their head, there's
Yeah,
no way
it
for
looks like the
anybody.
safe routes to school, missing sidewalks.
Or can you add a bike lane? Like a buffered bike lane or something to a roadway? Right? Carl?
Yeah, that was a
That
good
was-
example last summer
Yeah,
on Lynch over on the east side of town. I had like a week to turn around some plans that just showed some new striping with bike lanes and stuff.
right, because it's paint.
Cause it's like, oh, we're gonna repave this in 2 weeks.
And
So
cedar,
sneak in a
right?
bike lane, yeah.
cedar too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Can we always add a bike lane?
Yeah, can we just make that a default?
Usually.
No.
with-
No, there's an answer.
18 projects right before he left. So we're still waiting to get feedback from the city to see if they'll approve. Yeah, but it'll take time. Sorry, I probably shouldn't be talking.
Yes, you should.
I'm just familiar with the new projects and stuff. Money. I mean,
Anything else for the good of the order, Kate? No?
Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation.
Exciting.
Let's see what we got here. We got some reports, right?
It used to be split up with like 3 people, but now you're giving all the reports.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, so a shorter list.
shorter list.
Maybe kind of. Or I don't know what's happening on that one.
All the ones that you don't know what's going on, we just crossed them off. It just didn't make the final cut. I like it. Okay.
So safe routes to school infrastructure, a little different from what Kim's doing. We've talked about it in the past. So all 3 areas, it's the northeast school, Sunnyside area, the Knowles, Sonawa area, and then a turn lane analysis on Pine Cliff and Forest. They're all 3 at this point of almost getting a draft from the consultants. And we'll review them. So the turn lane, the Pine Cliff turn lane is in my to-do list to before a meeting next week.
To turn left?
Yeah,
Okay.
to check it out. And then the Knowles and Sonawa, some ideas on that one. We should be getting within a week. We'll have a month or so to turn around some concepts on that. And the Northeast Schools one, they're rougher ideas in a mural board. If anyone's played with those before, and rougher ideas are floating around and we'll start the next round of conversations on those. So we could, I'm trying to just brainstorm in here, I could bring those back, especially the Butler, like Knowles, Sonawa, and then the Northeast Schools, the Sunnyside area plans with this incoming round of what we're looking at. And I can basically just do some brainstorming, I think, and get some feedback from this group if you guys are interested in that, filling up an agenda soon.
Yeah.
The Pine Cliff Forest one, I know like the Futz crosses right there before the stop sign. And lots of times cars aren't looking, like they're just focusing on turning right. So I don't know if there could be something like there that shows that people are crossing on the
Yeah.
big green. I don't know.
I don't know what it could be. one of my thoughts is I think you could maybe pull forward enough that the foots, and we could rewrap the foots just a little so the foots goes behind the first car, which is how a roundabout operates. But I haven't dug into the geometry too deep on that one yet. Yeah,
I was just out there, this week and almost got hit by a car.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's.
you, of all people.
I was in a reflective vest too. I
Oh my
swear.
God.
Yeah, they're just not looking.
Yeah. And so then I was like, okay, I'll wait. So I backed up and then stood there while like 7 more cars. I'm like, okay, I really do want to cross the street in my reflective vest. But I was like, I'm not gonna step out in front of you, FYI. You'll win, so I'm just.
were you heading west on the foot, so down?
I was just trying to get to the median. To do the, like, I was heading east.
East.
You took pictures of the people, right?
No, I only took pictures of the cars, no. I was heading. Like, if I were to go up the hill. Toward Coconino.
You're heading that way. So the way
I just
people would
wanted
be
to
looking
get,
if they're trying to turn right, you were even facing that way and they still didn't see you?
not till the last minute. That's what, $1 million thing that the consultant suggested at the beginning. To take down that big wall,
Oh, yeah, that.
yeah. Mhm.
The rest.
It's too much money to pull all the, because it's built up high, the foots, and then it comes down. And then, I don't know, I'm not doing a very good job. Matt knows what I'm talking about, but
I see a map. Could you pull it up?
yeah, the foots is high. And then you come down to street level at Pine Cliff. And then that's where the cars are coming around the corner.
Yeah, so they'd have to look up and oh,
So, and you're kind of hidden a little bit. And so to bring you down to street level a lot earlier, and sort of open up the space
Okay, great.
would have cost like a lot of money.
Someone's here trying to turn right, let's say.
No, it's,
They're looking
there,
back that way.
no, I was trying to cross the other one when they're coming around that other corner.
So you were going west.
So I was standing right there on the corner, coming toward us.
Okay.
And there was someone coming around that corner.
Oh, yeah, that's a blind spot.
Woo!
Yeah, that's a
they
blind
wouldn't
spot.
see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a basis student got hit there a couple of years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I usually ride in a road on Forest to avoid that.
Oh,
I think it's safe for.
No, I ride around Vic too.
Why isn't there a pedestrian crossing the white lines? Why isn't it painted on the street? Yeah. There's no,
That's a great
Green.
question.
Like something.
Yeah.
But still, cars flying
It
up the
wouldn't-
hill would have a hard time.
The
like,
green,
Yes,
the
it's
green
safe.
should be the bike lane, which is on the road.
Painted,
But
but
yeah.
it faded out.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
that's
can
kind of
see
the,
But I mean, now that they do the split, the two-way, like on University, they could do that with the paint. I don't know if it's wide enough though. You know what I'm talking about? How they no, they don't paint it. Never mind. Never mind.
Paint's faded off, and then what happens with the two-tone, the asphalt and concrete, is the asphalt gets lighter and the concrete gets darker. So it looks really good initially, and it's like people, and that's a comment we would make a lot about architects would, it looks great initially. Oh, look at this contrast that's built in, but the contrast really fades over time.
Fades over time.
maybe that needs to be raised a little bit too, just to give it.
For texture, yeah.
We're doing speed bumps now, so it's just a big speed bump right here.
At that speed, they'd be in the other lane.
I used to ride that more. Now they have that nice connector going to Buffalo Park, so I ride through the forest to get kind of to the same area from going to the east side. And then pop out at Buffalo Park and then,
Yeah, I've just had way worse experiences on the trail than in the road, which is not great. You don't want people to have worse experiences on the like separated path, but I've had way more incidents of almost getting hit there where you did, Kim, or people not seeing me or not realizing I should be there. Then if I'm in the road, they at least see me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little intersections like that that do that, I think. You know, I love those separated roads, but you're right, when they intersect with traffic,
Yeah,
it's,
it's not good, or, yeah.
The way a lot of them are going, like Beulah University one, you know, that's a one-way bikeway. So it's basically a foot separated, except it's split into, you know, the one-way bike traffic. So part of the hope of that is the right turners will not get caught by looking the wrong direction. So they're at least looking in the right direction.
that's great.
This one has other more just physical
right?
visibility issues specific to this, but this is also a two-way facility, so
Yeah.
you get both things, cliffs in your way and not paying attention to the other direction.
Right.
Some of the newer developed areas, there's not a whole lot of driveways and there's not many crossing opportunities. So John Wesley Powell Extension and then potentially Woody Mountain Extension, when they get developed, they're all in motion to be developed. There's not many crossing opportunities, so I've struggled with do we do the one way? Because there's no way to get to the correct side of the road. Or do we roll with this two-way and then you have that look the wrong direction issue?
I don't know that there's an answer, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I need to think about that.
It's true. I
Anyone
mean,
has an
I mean, I feel like in Vegas, we had lots of like those medians that made it so that you couldn't cross all the way. And it was kind of a pain a lot of the time. But it could have been related to something else.
just on the big 6-lane roads all over Vegas, all their arterials have the
So the thing about Vegas is like all the neighborhoods are like gated or fenced in. So like you get like shoved out onto these roads that also have bike lanes on them, like nice bike lanes, nice wide bike lanes, but it's like 2 lanes of traffic each direction or 3 lanes. And the speed limit's supposed to be 35, but the cars go like way faster than that. But then I would also get stuck, like you can't get over things if you need to like get someplace else. It just seemed like that median got in the way.
you came out here, you needed to go west,
Right, there's no.
right? How do you pretend there's not enough
Right.
brake to block on either side?
Right.
But yeah, that idea,
And then getting across all that traffic on a bike is challenging.
Yeah,
picking it up and walking through the bushes, the meter.
And I mean, on a mountain bike, you do it, you know?
yeah. What did you do? Did you ride the wrong? Because I've seen people just then ride the wrong way.
I don't like riding the wrong way.
Yeah.
I'll like jump a median.
To get over
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Well, that's the thing is, a lot of people are just riding along the sidewalk and then
Yeah.
getting
Or I
over
would
here
do
and
something
turning
like
around
that.
Here.
Yeah, you're,
Yeah.
You're on Butler Avenue.
Yeah,
Butler Avenue complete streets, where we?
how about that? Yeah, that is the next one. So this one is this is doing like what we have on Beulah. There's 30% plans that the city's reviewed. I think it's back in the consultant's hand now. So the main idea is the curb's gonna move from where it is now to where the little buffer for the bike lanes was and the end of the bike lane. That'll be the curb, and there'll be a 5-foot parkway and then 11-foot concrete. So 5 feet is one direction for bikes and the other 6 is two-way.
That median
sidewalk,
staying in there?
same idea. Yeah.
Oh, really? So it's really gonna choke it down?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Yeah,
nice.
it'll,
For speed.
Yeah.
it'll all start right here. Where it is, they'll keep their 11-foot lane, but it'll be a full on. Parkway.
And it's gonna go from there all the way
Yeah,
to.
see it
Yeah,
moved out, like,
It's gonna
Milton.
connect Milton to all the way to this driveway right here by the Easy Bank. That's where we're gonna end it.
wait, where's your pointer? Okay,
Go past the Sawmill intersection. That's the plan for that.
is that the construction that's happening right now in that area, or is that Lone Tree?
That's the Lone
Okay.
Tree overpass. Yeah, that'll tie into some pretty cool stuff along Lone Tree for multimodal.
There's the construction going on right now. It's actually the Lone Tree corridor,
Mhm.
not Safe Streets in any way, right? Because our plans are still under review on this.
On the Butler one.
Well,
it's not really-
On your, the Butler, yeah, that's, you said, our plans,
Yeah.
you're still.
Yeah, that one's still in the
Yeah.
plans. The Lone Tree is gonna, it already has a protected intersection here for streets, so you go out there, you can see some of those. Look like footballs that they protect, but a big truck can roll over, kind of like the
Yeah,
middle
yeah,
of a
yeah, yeah.
roundabout, right? So that's already starting to go in, but that was all in connection with this plan, so trying to stay ahead of it, but that little piece already has what we're going for. See the white sidewalks on the north side already too. There'll be a crossing at O'Leary. Enhanced crossing of some sort.
Yeah, we kind of went over that one previous meetings, right? The way that thing's gonna allow pedestrians and bikes to go through, but kind of choke down cars so they can't use it.
Yeah, and most likely it wouldn't let the lefts out. It would lose
Yeah.
the left out movement. But this would still stay and the lefts in should be fine too.
Then you can take O'Leary and connects to like San Francisco.
Fun stuff in there.
Oh, yeah.
First I'll show Sal.
Yeah.
We have some
Yeah.
plans for a flitz that cuts through here, which is the Rio. So this would be right at the rim of the Rio and
Yes,
it's
that's a great
flat.
idea.
So you don't have to go up and over
Yeah.
Franklin. Chris and I went over that. And then, yeah, you cross here and then you're just in all these back edge roads to get to
Yeah.
anywhere in the south side or back edge roads and then have to just pop across one block
Yeah.
of San Francisco to get to the north side. I know I don't know if we'll formalize any exact route in here, but just like it kind of gets you to
Yeah,
the quiet roads.
yeah, that's really lower traffic. Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, no, there's transfer stations right there.
Mhm.
Eventually there'll be a tunnel. Right from the transfer station.
Yeah. The Rio. Go about like that. Someday, that one's one of the ones tied to the Army Corps flood control project, which is delayed year after year. If I told this group,
I feel like we heard a little bit last time that was a delayed project.
yeah, it's just, it keeps stops and starts.
How's this tunnel doing?
Yeah, how's that tunnel doing?
That one's further along, so that one's
The
tied
Flonut
to the
one?
third rail. That one's more connected to the third
Yeah.
rail, which BNSF is moving forward with.
Let's go.
That would be
And
great.
I saw 90% plans on that.
90.
Yeah,
That's the
Wow.
flow nut
big league.
one.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the flow nut would be part of that one. They would redo this whole bridge area too. A lot of
Yeah, so like,
comments that my reactions were too little, too late. I didn't get to see it before that.
so before they do that, they'll have the Lone Tree finished. So
Yeah, most likely.
that'll be great.
Or Or they'll just tear up all downtown at once and we'll just take a break.
That's, okay.
We'll be
Let's get it
carbon
done.
zero for
Sometimes you just need to like
Yeah.
get it done.
Flagstaff, we can knock this out in 2 months. Everyone just chill out.
Just stay at home. I can do that.
Stay south or north of the tracks, don't worry about.
So on our silver award, did we get any feedback?
Yeah, do we get to read the feedback?
Yeah.
What did they say? Why did they, what's their problem with us?
No, I didn't get the report card. I might have to follow up with that. It might be in
Yeah, that was,
Chris's lost
Inbox.
inbox, yeah.
yeah, that would be.
Do you guys get a specific, like, report card or is that online? Is it different than what's online?
I think Carmen said you were supposed to get specific feedback, right?
Haven't
Yeah.
made a press release and all kind of, oh yeah, let's scramble on that. And I didn't even think, I never saw the feedback.
Yeah, I'd like to know how close we're.
I've seen past report cards,
Yeah, or what we missed that.
Oh, it's
maybe.
Yeah.
but I didn't get the report.
Okay,
Sorry. I didn't get it though. I think Chris or Mark, one of the two got it. Because Martin may have been the one that submitted it, actually.
yeah, I saw the full application. Name was on it as the contact. The actual paper award was addressed to Martin.
I know, so I don't know.
Yeah. We'll dig it out.
Contact IT.
Yeah. We will ask them probably and get something. Last mile connected to 180 crossings. Those have been submitted to ADOT. If you guys know, if you remember which ones those are, it's 20
No, general.
difference. So Forest,
Yeah, that would be great.
180, that one. That one, ADOT is confusing or complicating the issue with, is it a PHB or an RFB? So like the Butler Humphreys one is an RFB, and then the 66 Met Swap one is a PHB. PHB is typically a bit more infrastructure involved. That's the warrant that was ran for ADOT that we met. And they don't want the overhead stuff with one lane at a time. Maybe RFB isn't a big downgrade anyway. Unless anyone has opinions, do you guys feel like you've felt a difference on those two types of facilities?
Do they both require cars to stop?
Mm-hmm. Well, they hint at, yeah, technically the RFB is a flashing amber beacon. So it's saying cars stop in the crosswalk, but you could like come to a crawl and just wait for the person to go, but you have to yield.
Yeah.
So legally you
Right.
can't hit anyone anyway, right? But it is kind of a yield thing.
Not a red
whereas-
zone, yeah.
Whereas the PHB has a stop bar, and when it's solid red, you have to wait, and then when flashing red,
Yeah.
then it becomes essentially the same thing as that flashing amber, where you can go if you're safe.
Which again,
Anecdotally, I think PHBs encourage people to actually stop the yellow lights. Again, pure anecdote, but
Oh,
the RHB on Butler by campus, people just blow through that thing.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
oh
really.
yeah, even if you're in it.
Even if you're in it, yeah, and especially if you're in the middle safety station and the other lane of traffic, the traffic closest to, because it's a yellow. But for reds, they'll stop.
Everyone generally knows red
Yeah, and it-
stop. Now, they don't know red blinking,
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless-
do.
but they know red solid.
Right.
Yeah.
That's usually, you've got the red solid.
And if you're what often happens, because I take that one a lot, is if you have a pedestrian who's hit, some of you weren't here when I went on my like extended rant about how much I don't like these. If you are a pedestrian and you've hit the signal firstly, pedestrians don't know that you have to hit the signal twice. Many of them just hit it once, they get to the middle island, they think they're fine, they keep going, they haven't hit the other way, other cars don't stop, or it's a big thing.
I
Second,
wouldn't know that.
yeah, I know, it's not intuitive. People don't realize it. They think they're good because they've hit one button. Okay. But also, if you're a bike coming from campus, is what I'm doing usually coming from campus, and a pedestrian's hit it, your speed is a lot different from the pedestrian. So you make it to the middle faster than they do, and then either have to stop in front of them. It's just like a mess. It's a mess to have I understand the idea of trying to let people check traffic both directions, but it's not optimal. And I think the amber makes it worse because people don't see it as a stop.
It's optional.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you're coming up fast and the other direction of traffic sees the pedestrian, but you speed past them, they're not going to stop for you on a bike because you've caught up too fast. You've overtaken the pedestrian. And if they're judging based on the person who's walking, I've seen a lot of issues at that one.
Conflict.
Yeah.
And I'll say it again, either of those systems don't work for people who are colorblind.
Yeah, that's
And drivers who are colorblind who don't know what those are.
I think we need the railroad arms.
Whereas
Some
positioning,
railroad
right,
arms
if
closed.
red was where it was positioned, then they can see those. But the other ones, a blinking red over a solid red over a blinking yellow, they're like, tell me what that says. I don't know what to do.
Nobody answers that person in time.
Is there a sign that says stop, like stop for?
I don't
think so,
know, but I just know I have a couple friends that are like, I don't know what it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know, I don't know.
Traffic lights put a hint of blue in it so that people could tell the difference if they're red, green, colorblind. If they're more colorblind, if there's more shades, maybe they're out of luck, but the common red, green,
They put a blue in it.
there's something, yeah, there's a little bit in that for that reason. But I bet most people just go off of positioning, yeah.
That's what, yeah, my friend was like, you can tell by the position what color it is and.
Well, and there should have an audible something.
For the pedestrian or biker crossing, yeah.
Well, I was saying for the cars,
Oh.
right? The drivers
Oh,
that don't
that
know,
too.
they're like, I don't know.
I thought ADOT only put Hawks.
PHPs, yeah, that's all they,
That's not,
I
I think
was,
there
I
wasn't an
was taken
option.
back when they brought that up, like, but this is the one you have a warrant for, and this is the one that we've been planning for all along.
Huh.
And then they're like, "Oh, I don't like the overhead piece." Who's maintaining it?
I
Like,
saw
more
it.
obvious.
It's your road.
That was one of the areas that had like a lot of accidents on our accident report.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Is
I
that
saw a Hawk-like system in Tempe that was similar, but it had it had the light, so it was green. And then you press it and it'd go yellow and it'd go red. And people walk and it was, there was no vehicle traffic on that opposite end. It was a pedestrian, crossing
Well,
system.
definitely, that's a big one right there, Forest. There's more than that, though. There's
There is,
crossings
yeah.
plural.
Yep. There's one about here. That one won't get any enhancements where it.
Okay, that's an apartment complex.
Yeah,
the new one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, they need that so bad.
Yeah.
so this one will be.
Because if they're on
just
foot,
a
there's
median.
no stuff.
Yeah.
That can't get over it. I see them like running across.
This one will just be a median refuge. So no lights associated with it. And then some ramps on either side. And yeah, and then the third one. Also just a median refuge with on the ramps on either side.
Is this part of that, grant that they got last year, or is this different?
This is still related to safe routes.
Okay.
Sorry, the first one is first mile, last
Okay.
mile grant, yeah, that Mountain Line got a couple of years ago already.
Cause I've thought about for Fort Valley at some point, I know that like you have the grant, you're maybe doing more infrastructure with sidewalks, but putting some roundabouts there, I know like that would help with maybe traffic calming, but also like cars on this side trying to go left when traffic's just like nonstop. It would
Wait
just maybe
forever.
help with a little
Yeah.
bit of flow there and then also be traffic calming. And then it'd be crosswalks there too. Just a thought.
The next stage.
Maybe.
Your project, yeah.
Is the crossing by the school getting upgraded at all or no? It's just staying the same?
Not with this one, no.
School is that? Yeah.
I feel like that crossing's pretty darn good, isn't it?
You always got a crossing walk too, right?
Yeah.
Guard.
They have a
Yeah.
guard. It's better when the guard's there. If you're
Yeah.
biking there and there's no guard there, I mean, it's something. It's the only
Something.
designated crossing for
For
quite a
wedding.
while, so,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I've tried to cross like further north, I guess, and that's really hard, like
Yeah.
by Creekside. I feel like there could be a crossing. That area,
Yeah, that was,
because Futz is on the other side then.
Up by the museum too, I think I said this when we talked about this last, but when they do some of their festivals that pull big traffic and they want people to they can't accommodate all the parking, they run their own shuttle to get people across the street because there's no crossing up there and it's really dangerous. They like do a whole bunch of stuff
Yeah,
because you
that's
can't
pretty
get across
far
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that one we did get a design grant for that. Chris got it. For this area, so basically it's gonna try to focus for north of there. So it's routed through ADOT, they're gonna basically just run it. And then we have to try to apply for another grant for construction funds on that one. Friend.
By the museum.
Yeah, well, it would be, I know Creekside was one, that was a high. And I think it might be more about Creekside and Blue Willow, maybe the museum. I haven't seen anything on that. I don't think it's officially kicked off, but we got the grant and ADOT's just gonna run it.
Stop. I like that on the itinerary here, and the agenda has the next meetings. Did anybody go to the last transportation commission meeting?
I
You
did.
were there?
No, I did. I did.
You did too.
I did. Let's see if I took notes.
We're going into the informational items to and from commissioners. Yeah. I made.
When was it again? Could you remind me?
February 3rd, February 5th? Does that sound about right?
It was a long time ago, seemed like.
It's February 4th.
Okay, cool.
Were you able to announce your presence as?
I
a
did
member of
announce
the
I did
EAC?
talk
That is
about
my favorite.
something
That's my favorite.
at the end. And the only thing I wrote down here is look into residential traffic management guide. Dee, help me out. Do I remember that there was some discussion of like some community members had requested a traffic survey on Lake-In and we talked about that?
Hold up.
Yeah, the data
Yeah.
confirmed that
Yeah, oh
it
yeah.
doesn't
you
have
were
the
there, obviously.
volume.
Right, yeah.
to put any county energy into it.
And then it was crash data, right? But not bike pet crash data, just general crash
General.
data.
Crash reports.
Yeah, general crash reports. And it's,
25.
okay, was that the bulk of it? That's what I can
There's
remember.
bulk of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the Lewis Drive you were talking about?
Yeah, Lewis, sorry, did I say like an I'm wrong? And I think that was the bulk of it. If I'm remembering right. Let me look at that.
And the
Yeah.
Ped Hike CIP survey.
Oh, yeah, and then that was the one thing that I talked about is that they reviewed the survey that Martin had us do. about like what we thought.
Yes.
They reviewed that as well, and there was some
They're
discussion.
like,
about that.
this is garbage, we're not listening.
They didn't say that. And then I'm pretty sure they asked me to comment, and I said that we had looked at the projects and tried to think about sort of maximum utility and safety as our kind of internal criteria to try to look at projects that we thought would yield the most complete and safest overall system.
Yeah.
This, and
Speed
that.
humps.
I took a lot of notes.
Speed humps.
Yeah, just to.
Yeah, how they're a thing now. We do speed humps now.
They are a thing now. Oh, you did take a lot of notes. Look at that.
That wasn't live. Speed humps do with the plow. Not bad.
Well, that was the whole thing for years and years. It was like, we can't do them. We have plows.
Speed bumps, but speed humps, I don't know if that's true.
It ramps up flat and ramps down.
Well,
Oh,
our
yeah,
university,
right.
you know,
I forgot
this year
about
with.
that.
with
There was also a
University of
discussion
About
about-
has those, so
Yeah.
we should have some feedback this year from the street
You'll
department
see.
to see if it was cumbersome or what.
I'm excited.
We didn't have any.
Yeah, 3 inches or something for them.
So Mark, a little background, we have been trying for about probably 8 months now to have a bigger presence at the transportation committee meetings. And we've changed our meeting time to make sure that we're meeting at a time before their meeting. Because our input gets funneled through them to the council. So we're trying to be more mindful of how our voices are being projected up the canyon.
I think there's some comments up there and.
Oh, wait, is there?
Okay. Do I
Alice.
let her speak? Or I don't know if I think you have control, Carlton.
Is she gone? 6th away?
Yeah, but Elaine.
Elaine
other
would
person-
like to comment.
Yeah.
Elaine, please.
Oh, sorry about that. I just wanted to say, I appreciate, sitting in on the meeting. I try to attend as many as I can around the state. And I just wanted to say, Kim and to Kate, I really enjoyed your presentations on the safe routes to school and the metro plan, and the other things that you're doing. So, thank you. I'm gonna have to go, but I just wanted to say thank you and I appreciate being able to sit in.
Elaine, would you like a copy when it's done?
Yes, I would. I really,
got it.
really like that.
Okay,
Thank
sounds
you.
good.
Thank you, Elaine. You're welcome
Thank you.
anytime.
Thanks. All right, bye-bye.
Kim's notes remind me that we also talked about street lighting or lighting issues as part of the crash data, right? Does that sound right, Kim? And that there had been theoretically projects to address lighting issues, but they'd been like delayed by ADOT. I can't tell exactly what your notes, just it's very.
Really, you
low.
can't decipher my note?
Not 100%.
Comment
There's
from
missing street
Allison,
lighting.
too. She says she's gonna have to log off. Thank you, Allison.
There she goes. Bye-bye.
Here,
I thought the data on the light thing,
was that its own thing?
yeah, the crash data didn't show that because we're a dark sky city,
Right, yeah.
more crashes occurred. It
That's
didn't,
what
it wasn't
it is.
enough to say that might have contributed to.
Okay, but there was another discussion that there's known missing streetlights that were supposed to get addressed, right? I do have a.
That's
memory of
the
this.
HSIP
Okay, update.
that they're gonna put retroreflective backplate lighting on the signalized intersections on US 89. There are 13 missing streetlights
Mhm.
to the tune of $2.1 million. The project is scoped and it's moved forward and it's considered at the state transportation in June. And if it passes and it goes through, it can decrease crashes by 25%. If the lighting is added, the retroreflect backplate lighting. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
And it's part of the RSA that ADOT did, and that supports it. There you go, see?
Yeah, yeah.
Come on, you didn't get that? Come on,
Now
man.
that you read through it, yes.
So easy.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
You just narrated that part too.
Yeah.
Summarized. I have the PowerPoint up. But
Save the day. Yeah, there we go.
So we don't have a bigger dawn dusk problem,
true.
even though it failed 9.1.
I do recall, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that the bike ped specific crash data is supposed to go to Transportation Commission at their next meeting. Does that seem right?
Yeah, that sounds right. David's gone, David Lemke, he left us
Oh,
since that meeting. He's fleeing.
Who wants to volunteer for the next Transportation Commission meeting? Go to it. Are you around, Kevin?
Yeah, I can go.
April 1st.
I can go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And make sure
What time
they
is it?
know who you are.
A little earlier than this meeting,
is it 4 p.m.?
4 p.m. Yeah.
You go with that?
I'm on it.
No joking around that day.
Do your duty. All right. And I think,
Kevin, I'll make sure that you get the invitation and.
Thank you so much.
Is it here?
Yeah, it'll be
It's in-
next.
Next time, guys.
any update on your staffing situation? That's it?
Mhm.
That's like the new normal or?
No, well, there'll be
This
two,
position was advertised today.
Good,
So
good.
I have to look, make sure stuff is up. Sorry.
be two,
There's two
two of us.
positions.
I don't know if it'll be back to three anytime soon.
Ever, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the good old days. Okay, well, hopefully we'll get back to two. I think with us meeting every couple of months now, I think it's more important than ever that we take a minute to think about what items we want on the agenda for next time. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about next time that came up in your brains during this meeting? Or I know that you talked about the safe routes to school infrastructure programs and Luke doing a little bit on that on the agenda.
Yeah.
But is there anything else that we would be wanting to get updates on or wanting to talk about the Lone Tree maybe project as it ramps up on their summer schedule?
I don't know if we need this to be an agenda item, but the regional plan approval happens before our next meeting, after our next meeting?
You mean the budget retreat?
No, I mean the regional plan, the one that we gave comment on.
Yeah.
Regional plan 2045. The ballots in May, right?
May, yeah, I don't know, the date within May, probably before.
But remember this was, oh gosh, now maybe like a year, 2 years ago, that we had several special meetings to provide comment on the regional plan process that goes to a vote in May.
Oh, wow.
So there's a special election. You would want to participate in that, but that's coming up. I'm not sure if it's before or after our next meeting, to actually like approve it.
Yeah, keep your eye out, you should get
All right.
an ALA.
I haven't seen anything from the elections office.
I don't think you would until, I'm on all the emails for it now, so I have seen a bunch of emails about it.
It's also on their Facebook, the regional plan stuff.
I feel like I took a screenshot of something I saw with. So this is like an actual election that we vote for, a special ballot. Okay, yeah, so ballots are mailed April 22nd. You have to be registered to vote by April 20th. May 11th is the last day to mail back your ballot, and May 19th is election day.
Okay, so I assume we won't have heard anything about outcome.
I think
I found it just a little slower than you.
Well, I took a screenshot.
On my birthday, guys.
We might have a feel.
On the 21st.
Yeah.
It also looked like when you're on the other page, there's like one more opportunity to provide feedback.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
Open house. Aquaplex. 15th.
Yeah, plus a survey. Yeah, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it necessarily needs to be an agenda item, but I want to make sure people were aware that that's
Yeah,
coming
thank
up.
you. Is there any other, speaking of announcements, any other announcements? That's where we're at on the agenda. Staff announcements. FBF, yeah.
Well, just a preview is that, I think Flagstaff Biking Organization has dates for Ride Your Bike Week this
Oh, yeah.
year in May. I think it's actually up on the website. It's up already, so if you're interested and or if, I don't know if there's any particular methods of participation at this point, but mark your calendars.
Okay.
To do stuff. Ride your bike. What were you gonna say? Do you?
ADOT has, open public comment for their 5-year transportation plan. I put it out on our Facebook page. There's a link, but there are several plans in our region. If you want to provide comment on that. Metro Plan's advocating for 180 improvements. But there's several plans. Some are under FMPO and some are under NACOG. That's all our region. So if you want to just comment, it's open for comment. It's recent, but you can look up, I think it's az.gov/5-year, something like that, but
I feel like I commented on something maybe a month ago and I can't remember what.
I just posted
Okay.
it recently.
So it probably wasn't.
I'm
that
not good, so if the link doesn't work, it wouldn't surprise me. I think it works, but I'm not associated.
But I'll be all
with
over
it.
180.
But there's several projects in our region that if you might want to comment on. So,
Thank you.
We made it through the entire agenda. Is that it?
Like to work week will be before our next meeting too.
I think so.
Oh, yeah, it will.
it'll be in the middle. No, it's right.
No, yeah, it'll be done. So,
Really want to win a raffle prize the last year, the year before, on a raffle.
I've never won one either.
It used to be for the whole month, wasn't it? So you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Used to be lots of chances. Anything else for the good of the order, guys? Going. Adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Good meeting.
May 10th to May 16th. May 10th to May 16th.
Such a great week.